Welcome back to part 7. Alright, so we took the other hose you've seen us fussing with and took it down to O'Reilly's and had them measure it, and it was a 1/4 inch too short. Still had the same part number, 22298. And we did measure this one and it fits. Yeah, one thing with aftermarket parts, it comes in 2 flavors, too short or too big. Luckily when it's too big, we can trim it if we need to, but I think in this case it'll be okay. There's a little bit of room to spare, but you can see where the difference is between the proprietary Ford product and the Gates aftermarket. The other thing I forgot to check before I put the hose on was how clean was the inlet, and unfortunately I should have done that before I dry fitted, but knowing that this hose was a little bit short, really no harm, no foul. But before you do put your new hose in, you want to go in and check to see how clean or not clean it is. And this one's so-so. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning. A little bit of brake cleaner and a Scotch shop towel, good to go. I won't show cleaning that because unfortunately this is a hard shot. We're having to work inside the wheel well. I do have the wheel off just to make accessibility a little bit better. But, you know, depending on what tire size you have selected for your vehicle, you could probably just turn the wheel and get in here. But it is a lot easier to work when there's nothing in the way. And I do want to show you one other fun fact. You know it's been a while since an oil change has been done when you look at the filter and it's dusty. And if you look closely on top, you can see a little tiny oil seep there. That filter's been on there way too long. I'm going to say it's been at least a year. At least he used a good filter. Alright, got a little prep to do and then we'll get rolling on this. Yeah, this turned out to be a cooling system restoration, and that's the difference between restoration and repair. You know, if it's just a repair, throw a pump on, hoses are good, fluid in, good to go. But this, yeah, 18 years, original coolant, it was a lot deeper job than the owner expected. I guess for that matter, the same with us, but none the same. This has to be done right, or you lose the engine. And engine job versus taking, you know, an extra day or two to get it right. I'm sorry, I'd rather have my customer a little upset with me that it took a couple days to get it back, longer than he thought, than have him come back in a week, lost his engine, and oh crap, I'm into this, to an engine job at my expense. Yeah, we don't do that here at Keith Kevin's Repair and Restoration. Alright, so as I said in the last video, we had to go back to O'Reilly's, figure out why this thing was a 1/4 inch short. I expect to be a little bit of size difference, but not a 1/4 inch. That's too much. With this hose, I already went ahead and put the springs on. You know, if you watched in the previous video, you know, there's nothing new I'm going to show here. But other than that, we have the correct part that will work, and we did not have to go to Ford for it. So let's go ahead and install that now.
What was that? Me slipping. Does it fit?
Yeah, it just needs a slight turn.
Aftermarket.
Aftermarket. Okay. The biggest thing, don't have a kink here at the bottom. If you can afford it, buy the OEM hose.
Ford.
Yeah. This is 2 hoses that, well, one was too short and one was too long. I mean, at least with the too long one, you can custom as you need to, custom fit, but, you know, at the end of the day, nothing fits like the OEM.
Uh-huh. That's how you call it original.
Yep. Built Ford tough.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're good there. Now we can put the spring clamps back.
Alright, don't lose a fingernail.
problem here is the power steering line is in my way.
Hey, I'll get out of your way because you just moved the camera.
Yep.
Okay, good now?
I'm trying. Oh shit. So I had to go buy a tool because there's just no way to get a wrench in there to do this job. So this thing's kind of cool. It clamps down to the smallest spring clamps and then it opens up to the biggest. I should have had one of these years ago, but found this at O'Reilly's for about 35 bucks. You can get them cheaper at Home Depot. I don't know if they're going to work as good. But the one weird thing about it is trying to get it sized for your clamp you're going to use. So it tightens up, and then you just pry. Then it holds until you hit the trigger. And then now you can move it around any way you need to.
Wow. Neat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, supposed to let it go, huh?
It's supposed to. Oh man.
Doesn't work.
Oh no.
You bought something that was useless. Oh.
Oh man.
We'll get back to you.
Okay, so after an hour of fighting with it, let me tell you the trick so you don't have to spend an hour. Use the clamp tool. You got to get it behind the power steering pump. But put the clamp on first, then shove the hose back, and then properly position the clamp in place. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because my hands are going to be in the way to do the final adjustment. Believe me, I love you viewers, but I love my clients more kind of thing. It has to be done right. This is a one-time sat, so put your clamp on first with your tool, shove the clamp on, shove your hose on, then you shouldn't have to fight with it like I just did for an hour. That was probably one of the second hardest I've ever had to set. Normally they're not that bad when you got the right tools. I had to take this bolt out because it kept getting in my way. This was an 18 mil. You don't want to over tighten this bolt because these are aluminum heads. Alright, now we can move on to the rest of the hose system and get this Ford back together. Alright, we're going to get the bottom one in. Oh man, I hope this one doesn't fight me like the last one. Okay. Now release the tool.
Hey, when you release the tool.
Check your clearance. That's the only thing with these Ford ones are a little interesting. We want to make sure the nipple edge, you want to make sure you're about a fingernail length behind the nipple. And other than this one's installed. Moving on.